Hi, my name is Billy Flowers and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how we can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. And before we get started, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So I got a good scenario for all of you today. If you remember, a few videos back, we had a couple that's had good income and they're pretty conservative with their expenses, and they had three credit cards, and they also had a brand new 2024 Chevy Tahoe that they wanted to pay off. And if you don't remember that video, then you already know what to do. Go look at that video first, and then you can come back and continue with this one. So I ran that scenario for them, and they liked it so much, and they seen how much the balances were going to get paid off. They seen how fast they can pay off those credit cards and also the Tahoe, and it was like, well, you know what? I think we want to use this strategy to pay off our mortgage as well. So I was like, okay, well, sure, I can do that for you. And basically, with a mortgage, you can get something called a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, not a loan. They offer loans too. They offer uh, they offer loans, but you don't want a loan. You want a line of credit, home equity line of credit, and they offer two different kinds. They have a first lien HELOC and they have a second lien HELOC. A first lien HELOC, basically you're going to get 95% the value of your home. So, of course, if you bought a home at a certain price, years ago, it's going to be worth more now. So, you're going to take 95% of that. And basically, what they're going to do is that first lien HELOC is going to pay off the entire mortgage of your house. So, now you're going to have the balance of your mortgage on the HELOC instead of having the mortgage through whatever lender you went through. So you no longer have a mortgage payment through the lender. Now you have the HELOC with the monthly payment, just like a credit card or a line of credit. That's basically how this works. And then you have a second lien HELOC, which is basically a bigger line of credit. So instead of, credit unions usually offer maybe maybe lines of credit up to $40,000. Those are kind of rare, so we're talking maybe 30,000. But with a second lien HELOC, you can probably get up to $100,000 and maybe a little bit more. But you can get a little bit more money. And but the thing is, with a second lien HELOC, is you're still going to have your mortgage. So basically, you're going to be using it like a line of credit, and you're just going to be chunking at your mortgage with, say for instance, you have $100,000 and you want to use $20,000 of it to put on the principal of your mortgage, then you're just going to do it that way. Just like when we're using lines of credit to chunk at debt to pay it off. You're going to use a second lien just like that. The advantage of a first lien is that it pays off your entire mortgage, and then usually with the same bank, you're going to have a checking and a savings account, right? And the checking account is going to be linked to your HELOC. And what it's going to do is, soon as you get paid, it's going to automatically transfer your income into the HELOC just like that. So you don't have to do anything. You can automate everything, and then you're just going to have your bills linked to your checking account, and your checking account is mostly always going to be at zero, and it's going to just overdraft the account whatever bills are coming out, and then it's automatically going to pull money from the HELOC back into the checking to pay your bills. Everything is automated, and it makes it that simple. So you don't really have to worry about anything. The only thing you got to worry about is make sure you making sure your check is going into that checking account, and it's just gonna pull that money right back out and put it into that HELOC, maximizing every single cent that you make to keep that interest cost down. But enough of me talking. Let's get started. So we're going to be starting off with our 4 key numbers. Remember, this couple had pretty good income. They have $11,500 of income. Their expenses after they paid off, after they pay off their 3 credit cards in the Tahoe, is going to be $5,979, and they have the $350,000 owed on the house, and their cash flow is at $5,521. Whew! Isn't that crazy? That's that's a good cash flow to start with. I mean, we're gonna be attacking this mortgage with all our might. That's a good cash flow number right there. And the mortgage payment per month is $2,302.76 per month. Has a 6.78% interest rate. Like I said, we have a first lien HELOC and 95% of the home's value. This home is worth $515,000 now. So 95% of that would be $489 and $489,000 and $250. So you can pull this much out. So if they pull this much out, they're going to have all this room, and they're going to pay the entire mortgage out. So this right here, what's going to happen when we pay the entire mortgage out? Well, if we pay the entire mortgage off, then what's going to happen to this monthly payment? Remember, this is a line of credit. What's going to happen? Well, we're no longer going to have this monthly payment. So the expenses, right? The expenses of $5,979 is now going to be the mortgage less the mortgage payment, the $2,302.76, right? That's going to put the expenses now all the way down to $3,676.24. And then you already know what else is going to happen. What else? This most important number on the board. What's going to happen? We're going to get some more cash flow, right? We're going to get some more cash flow. So now we're going to get the mortgage payment, monthly payment, on top of that $5,000 that we already had. So that's going to put this cash flow all the way up to $7,823.76 per month. You seeing that, right? This is what they're going to be working with. Now, of course, this is going to be what they're starting with. But of course, these lines of credit have interest rates, but we're gonna see how this plays out when we start paying this off with all that cash flow. So we're gonna start with month 1. So we have $350,000, in the HELOC, just sitting there, and it's just sitting there, and it's just waiting. So what's gonna happen? Well, we're gonna have our $11,500 of income going into this bad boy, right? And it's gonna drive that balance down to $338,500. Then we're gonna have the new expenses of $36.76 coming out, right? We're gonna raise that balance up to $342,176.24. Now, look at that interest. I took the interest off of the high balance like I always do. $2,009.58 in interest. So basically what you could say now is my interest payment every month is my new mortgage payment. That's what you basically could say. I'm not making the rules, but that's what basically you can say. And you already know with these lines of credit, every single month, if you're putting all your money in, that interest is going down every single month. That means your mortgage payment is going down every single month instead of being this fixed number for 30 years. Let's keep going. So that's going to raise the balance up to $344,185.82 at the end of month one. Month two, we're going to repeat the same process. Income in, expenses out. Look at that. Now your mortgage is $1,900 and your mortgage, right? $1,976.20 is getting charged in interest, raising that balance up to $338. $338,000 and $338,338.26. Whew! Trying to say that fast. At the end of month two. Month three, we have their income going in, our expenses of $3,676.24 coming out. Then we have $1,942.63 in interest. Then we have a balance of $332,457.36 Oh, I can't talk today. And 13 cents at the end of month three. Month four, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $326,542.23 is the balance at the end of month four. Month five, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $320,593.37 is the balance at the end of month five. Month six, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $314,610.35 is the balance at the end of month six. Now look at this. 6 months, we went from $315,000 on this HELOC. Now we're already down, all the way down to $314,000. This is the power of velocity banking. When you're using all of your income on these lines of credit to massively pay these debts down. Look at this. So that 11,000 in month seven going in, expenses, interest charge, $308,592.98 is the balance at the end of month seven. Month eight, we're going to have our income going in, our expenses coming out. Now look at our mortgage payment. Now we're down to $1,771.84 in interest, $302,541.06 is the balance at the end of month eight. Month nine, we're going to have our income of that $11,500 going in. That the expenses of $3,676.24 coming out. $1,737.09 in interest, raising that balance up to $296,454.39 at the end of month nine. And in month 10, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out. $1,702.14 is the interest. $290,332.77 is the balance at the end of month 10. So you look at this, 10 months, 350, now we're down to 290, so we're talking about almost 60K you paid off this HELOC in 10 months. Now, I could torture y'all and go through this whole scenario, but you'll be here all night. I didn't want to torture y'all like this, but believe me, let me get my notes here. Believe me, I did all this for y'all. So if you look at this right here, this is it was on 2 pages. That's how much this is. So we're gonna see how long it took you. It will take this couple, right, to pay off this mortgage. So after I went through this whole scenario, let's see. Let's see what my notes say. So what I got is it's going to take them. I don't want you to fall out. 52 months. 50. I don't even see my 52 months. So that's around. Let's see if you want to break that down in years. 4.33 years. So we're talking about 4 years and let's just say 4 years and 3.5 months. 4 years and 4 years and 4 months. You're paying this whole mortgage off. Well, this line of credit, the mortgage is already paid off, but you're paying this $350,000 in a little over 4 years. Isn't that crazy? It don't seem right. And then we're gonna see how much interest that we paid. So I went through and you seen all my chicken scratch. So I went through and added up all the interest that we paid, or that they would pay. And we're going to get $55,588,064. Isn't that crazy? Not too bad. Now you looking at this interest number, and that's a lot of money. But just imagine how much interest you would have paid with the traditional mortgage. So let me get my phone out here and look at my calculator, and we're going to see how much interest you actually would have got charged on this home. Because you know how these mortgages work. Usually you're paying the bank for another home, so you're pretty much doubling whatever the mortgage is, and sometimes more than that, depending on the interest rate. So, whew, so you would have paid this home off if I'm just gonna say if you got the home right now in March, right? This home will get paid off in year 2055. That's 30 years. Now, obviously, this couple's been in this house, a little bit. They've been in this house longer than that, but I'm just from this day right now. We're talking about March here. 30 years from now, 2055. 4 years from now, 2055. 4 years from now. So we're at 2025. So you're talking about 29. Let's just say 30. Look how much time that you're saving. Oh, and the interest that you would have paid. I mean, this don't even seem real, but over $400,000 in interest. Easy. 400,000. So basically, we're talking about a $400,000 house that they save. Imagine, so instead of paying that in interest, they could have bought another house and then be renting that house out, right? And then getting cash flow from that house. Because they saved $400,000. Isn't that crazy? That's the game that you don't want to play. That's the game that keeps a lot of people broke, because we're paying all of that interest. No, we don't need to be paying no $400,000 in interest. That's crazy. No, we wanna play this interest game right here, and and even if this is 4 years, so you're gonna have the Christmases. You're gonna have, you might be going on vacation. So let's say, for instance, right, that we took 4 years, right, and we just took 1 month of cash flow each one of these 4 years. So we're talking about, we're taking almost $8,000 every 4 years, right, to pay for your Christmas presents if you wanted them that just go all out, and maybe a nice vacation. So all you're gonna do is, if we do that 4 times, that's just gonna extend this out maybe another 4 or 5 months on top of this. So let's just say five years, maybe over 5 years, 5.5 years, and you then went on vacation every year and bought and had a nice Christmas, nice Thanksgiving, all that. So this, I think this is the first video I've done where I showed you how you can use velocity banking to pay off a mortgage. And you see, it's just the same thing. Only thing is just a bigger number. And of course, this couple has a pretty good cash flow, so that's why it only took 4 years. But if we go down to a more realistic, more realistic cash flow for other people, maybe $2,000 or 1,500. Of course, it's going to take longer, but we're talking about 7 to 10 years. That's still amazing. Instead of 30, we're talking about paying off your mortgage in 7 to 10 years. Who wouldn't want that? And then now your biggest expense is now cash flow. Just imagine what you could do with all that cash flow every single month once all of this is paid off. The investments you can do with that. All the fun you could do with that. This is every single month. Whew. If you want to build an emergency fund, this I ain't gotta go there. But this is how you pay off a $350,000 mortgage in 4 years, a little over 4 years. Amazing. So I hope you found value in today's video. And I just wanted to show y'all that even with a mortgage, velocity banking is amazing. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.